If you're like me and like travelling for wildlife, you could be missing out by simply not visiting the city parks. Big cities can still have animal hotspots within them, like the monitors of Bangkok or the fireflies of Taiwan. Some of the animals you can see in these parks will surprise you. Now, seeing animals in these places can be easy or hard depending on what you're after seeing. For example, I like to see invertebrates just as much as I like to see mammals. In most cases. Now obviously whilst travelling you'll likely have some down days in the bigger cities, because let's be honest, being on safari and guided wildlife walks every day is expensive, and most of us can't afford that. So today I want to show you how and where you can see animals in big cities. The first place I usually start are parks, because green spaces are usually a good start to finding animals. Most big cities have them, and most of their parks have some healthy wildlife populations too. Some examples include London's Richmond Park, Singapore's Botanical Garden, and the parks of Bangkok. Today I want to show you that there are still animals to be seen in urban settings. Now if it's big mammals you wanted to see in these gardens and parks, you're going to be sorely disappointed because the human-wildlife conflict for space and resources means that it's increasingly hard to spot animals within cities. We're pushing them out. For biodiversity, this is a really bad thing, but human settlements are still a really good place to see birds, reptiles, amphibians, and even invertebrates. So let's have a look. The first step to seeing wildlife out in urban areas is getting out in the morning. The benefit to getting out early is that it's not as hot, there's not as many people around, so there's a higher chance of seeing animals. It's overall quieter. Today I've come to my local park to see some of the animals that live here. I live in a fairly large and developed city with very few green spaces. However, despite the city seeming ecologically dead, there are in fact wildlife strongholds here. So let's start with the small. Insects. Insects are abundant everywhere here, but not just in the parks. If you live in an old building, you've probably met plenty by now. Here in the park though, there are many species to see, and they are absolutely everywhere. This here is an established ant nest on one of the major footpaths, so you can only imagine the huge colonies out in the scrubland behind me. It's easy to forget that insects are in fact animals, but watching them even for a short while, you can see that they have dramatic and complex lives, just like any other animal. Other small animals you'll likely see are birds. You may even catch a glimpse of reptiles basking in the morning sun, depending on where you are. Birds are always a reliable bet when looking for wildlife in urban areas. They are highly adaptable and occupy pretty much any green space. Another bonus is that you can hear them easily. So how do we go about finding animals in these parks? Simple, just relax. Sit down, set your camera gear up, if you have a camera, and just look around. The animals here are so used to human activity, your presence probably won't bother them. They'll just be going about their day, so just being sat down on a log, on a bench, just on the floor, won't bother them, and you'll probably see quite a lot. Another way I like to see these animals is just by walking around the parks and looking for any features that these animals might gravitate to. Be it food sources, water sources, or depending on the season, trees that birds might like to nest in. Now obviously, daytime isn't the only time you can see animals. Another amazing time to see wildlife is nightfall. The change in animals that are out at this time is almost otherworldly. As the birds go to roost, the bats and the invertebrates emerge, among other things. Returning to the same park at night can reveal things that you may have missed in the daytime. Just as I got back to the road and the path, I found this on my scooter. It's huge. Look at the size compared to my hand, sorry. It's enormous, it's the biggest one I've seen in Taiwan. I tried to pick it up with my hands, but if you can see, its legs have some enormous spikes on them. I went straight into my finger, so I've got a bleeding finger now. Probably gonna wash that. Look at the size of this. It is beautiful. And you can only see these things. I mean, if you're lucky, you see them in the daytime, but it's very hot for them. Coming out at nighttime, it is gorgeous. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see this thing. It's a monster. What a great, oh look, it's trying to spike me now, look. All right, buddy, we're gonna put you back now, all right? I recommend getting a UV torch at this time as well, because you can spot things with these that you might miss with the naked eye. As we did in the daytime, both remaining still and walking around can reveal different animals in different locations. While remaining in one location, I managed to spot these fireflies hovering just above the grass line. Hopefully you can see these. And walking around revealed more. spider warning for those that need it, like this huntsman spider. Remember to always check the plant life that's surrounding the area because you'll see some weird and wonderful things on them. Also, shining a UV torch on some of the leaves might reveal some very, very strange biofluorescence. One thing about night walks is though, remember your head torch because it can be quite dangerous out at night, depending on where in the world that you are. Head torch is usually a good rule of thumb wherever you are in the world though. Mine's currently being used to light my face. Nighttime is a really good time to see some of the faster moving animals as they roost. Sometimes you'll see the birds just sat like little orbs on the branches. It's very sweet. That's all from me today. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please consider subscribing. It'll mean a lot. And join me next time where I'll post some travel highlights or travel recommendations about where I am in the world right now. Cheers.